Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Eve, the empath, coming to give you messages from Spirit. Wanted to take a delve into masculine energy. So, as women, we often find ourselves in a struggle between having masculine and feminine energy. And a lot of times we develop these energy patterns that are unhealthy due to trauma that we've experienced either at a young age or during the course of relationships with other people. A lot of times, childhood trauma triggers a lot of things in us that we store in our brain, in our memory, and it manifests in our emotions, how we handle other people. So mothers who have a lot of masculine energy, especially single mothers, sometimes Black moms, Hispanic moms, moms who do a lot of things by themselves without the presence of male energy, take on or have a tendency to take on a lot of masculine energy. Also, children who or mothers who grow up in households that their mothers were either passive or not nurturing also take on a lot of masculine energy. What this then does is roots into each of us and manifest in the way we, one, treat our men and raise our boys. We try to raise our boys to be tough without showing emotion, which then becomes emotionally unavailable guys. And we emasculate the men that we talk to, which makes them hard to love for us, or rather I should say hard for us for them to love. What that looks like. You have a guy, he's sensitive, he's gentle, and he makes comments to you, or let's just say he is the guy that is been emotionally abused by his mom. Let's take a real example. Married a guy, had a lovely narcissistic relationship with him. Why? Because he had deep mother wounds. And men with deep mother wounds present in a couple of ways. They're either one, abusive to their women, two, they're super emotional and withdrawn, or they're emotionally unavailable. In his case, he had a little bit of all of them. And the reason is because he was born under the sign of Cancer, which is a very sensitive sign. It's a naturally nurturing sign. He had spirit of rejection due to his mother wounds from when he was a child. With all that being said, this led to a cycle of mental and physical abuse in the women that he dated, because either if they were too strong of a woman, he had to beat them down to bring them back to a place where he felt safe, or he ran over them because they were too soft. He didn't understand how to balance his masculine and feminine energy, and he attracted women that continued to trigger his wounds. Someone like me, a natural born Leo with a lot of fire energy naturally. But I do balance very well when I'm safe, meaning I know how to turn on my feminine energy when I'm ready. So I grew up very tough. I grew up in this energy of, you're not going to run over me. You're not going to talk shit to me. You're not going to treat me bad. Why? Because in my household, my mom was soft and gentle, and I saw that as weakness. So in me, I created an altar that protected me from anyone that tried to show any type of dominance over me. You were not going to dominate me. You were not going to control me. You were not going to rule me. I was going to fight your ass on every little thing. And I did. So what happened was, he was emotional and he didn't know how to express his emotions. And when he had moments with me, I pushed his buttons. I learned very young how to cut a motherfucker with my tongue. Very strong tongue. So let's say he would come home from work, and there was a day when he was feeling awkward and uncomfortable, and he would make comments to me. I would push him to that limit, and he had no other choice but to either bow down to me or fight. Bow down to me or fight. Masculine energy does never want to bow down to anyone that they see as another masculine energy, because I wasn't in my feminine energy. I wasn't gentle. And I remember that I would go word for word, toe to toe with him, and we would almost always end in some sort of physical altercation. Looking back, I labeled him as a narcissist, and he still had a lot of narcissistic tendencies. But what I was missing was the fact that he really just needed to be nurtured. He missed the nurture in his life, and he was looking for nurture in me. But instead, he got gentle aggression or hard aggression from me. Didn't work well. And it wasn't until later in life that I was able to see. When the Bible says that we should, a soft tongue turns away wrath, I truly understood what that meant. Because just something so simple as a tiny tweak in my communication could have avoided years and years of not only physical abuse, emotional and mental abuse for myself, but also for the children that we bore together. For the kids that we made a vow to protect, we taught them that it was, one, not safe to show your emotions. Two, that you don't turn away wrath with a soft tongue, but you address it with some fists. What kind of toxic shit is that? So ladies, when you find yourself in situations where you're truly trying to attract the right kind of guy that balances your energy, you need the softer guy. But you can't get him if you keep running your mouth about bullshit. If you keep fighting him aggressively without being able to turn on your feminine energy in a soft way. And what that looks like is, I understand that you're hurting. Let's discuss what it is that's triggering you in this moment. What is allowing you to feel so frustrated that you want to take it out on me? Because clearly I'm not the problem with what you're dealing with, but I'm here to help you. Let's talk about it. Let's grow together. Let's learn how to mitigate this energy that you're feeling on the inside. And then what that does is it allows his heart to soften over time, because he's had to build a tough facade, because inside he feels weak. He feels rejected. He feels self-hate, angst, and you're just adding more fuel to the fire. And that role can reverse with women. So when you find yourself in relationships with guys and they have an abundance of this certain type of energy, you can use that same voice to get what you want, to have the life that you desire, which is someone to show you soft energy, intimacy, to touch your wounds gently, to caress you when you're sad. So the very thing he was needing from me is the very thing you use with your aggression when you are a strong, independent woman. And there's nothing wrong with being strong, and there's nothing wrong with being independent. The problem is when you're trying to attract your opposite. Think about that. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you understand the assignment and learn. You don't have to be tough all the time to get your point across. There is a gentler way. A soft tongue turns away wrath. I love you guys. Bye.